Well, it looks like winter hasn't quite set in yet. We've got a warm bump that's going to be hitting the area in the next couple of days. And so I'm thinking about taking Sierra down to our spot a little bit south of our place to go truck camp for a couple of days and just kind of enjoy the last bit of warm weather before winter sets in. And I want to make some changes to my truck camping setup. I want to use this Hess sleeping pad, figure out a way to do some sort of bench seat, and then over here on the left have like a cooking area and maybe a little desk that I can work on things. And I'm thinking I'll probably still rock the slide out extension, but I may have to retire this one. I've got some ideas about what I would like to do for a different one, and I'm thinking I might have to scrap this one in the process. I'm making some changes to the truck camping setup, and one of them is I've got this Hess sleeping pad, and I'm thinking what I'm going to do is build a slide out extension and just kind of redo the one that I had that comes out to about here, and it's going to open on this side, and it's going to open from the entire like door, like the entire width, and come all the way out here. That way I can set up like a bench style seat in there if I want to, and then I easily just have it go to where I can sleep right there, and then build out a little something over here to make it to where I can have like a shelf, with like cooking area, stuff like that, and make it a little bit more of a living space in here as opposed just to a place to sleep. On the interior, we're going to keep it the same with the Dometic up here and then the cooking stuff underneath on the shelf. And then Sierra's little bed is right over here. On the front, I'm actually rocking a new power station, and I want to talk about this here in a little bit. This is the new EcoFlow Delta 2 Max. I think for truck camping and for like winter camping, if you're going to be out in colder weather, you have to think you don't have as much solar during the daytime. And if you're not driving around and charging it off like a cigarette lighter, then you're going to need more like space in there for the days when you don't have solar, because you've only got probably about half the amount of time during the wintertime to harvest solar as you do compared to the summertime. And also, too, the angle of the sun is much lower in the sky, and so it doesn't hit the panels directly, and you don't get a full, if your panel's 100 watts, you might get like 70, So, but we'll talk about that here in a sec. I would like to figure out some sort of drop-down room that I make myself for the awning that would come out here and then go down and maybe make it out of canvas. And that way I could put like a little stove over on the side, have the wood stove in there, and then have the door in the back area here to be able to access this and store some items in there for like winter camping, because that'd be really ideal for shoulder season. And shoulder season is when the mud is still hitting it, like if it hasn't quite frozen solid yet for the winter, or if it's thawing out from like a pretty wet and snowy winter. Then what happens is it just gets really, really muddy. But if you can have like a side room like that for the nights where it still gets pretty cold out when you're out truck camping, and then be able to pack it up pretty easily and head out, then that's kind of ideal. I'm still rocking the panel on the top here. Got one panel, and then on the inside, I've got two more panels here, but then on the inside, what you see is I've got this jack where I can add one additional set of MC4 connectors if I want to in here to have it go into the battery. So I can essentially have these panels up here, another set which is right there, and then if I wanted to get more panels and put them out there, I could. For that battery, you can actually put 1,000 watts in as solar at one time, and I'm just amazed at what those batteries can do these days. The reality about truck camping and just nomad life in general is that if you have 1 kilowatt of power, which is what a lot of the power stations are that are out there these days, it'll get you by for like a day, maybe two if you really manage your power right. But if you get stuck out there in weather for like 3 or 4 days, that 1,000 watts is going to run out. Being on the road year round really gives you an idea of how much power you need, even in the winter months, because in the winter months you have less solar and you are using less power, in my opinion. Like in the summer months, I'll be using air conditioner and stuff like that. And in the winter months, you don't have to. But you still want to make sure you have enough power to get you by when there's like 2 or 3 days of maybe snow, bad weather, or during the rainy season during the summertime. And that's why I think that having a minimum of at least 2 kilowatts, 2,000 watt hours of power, this Delta 2 Max from EcoFlow is really ideal. This is the new state power station that they had that came out. You can expand this up to 6 kilowatts. So if you were a nomad and you had 6 kilowatts of power in your vehicle, I don't think you'd have to worry about anything. You could probably push TVs and everything in that. And, it's just amazing that these power stations are expandable that much. But 2 kilowatts will get you by just fine. Me personally, I lived on 1.5 kilowatts. That's what my power station was in my truck for like 4 years. And I got by just fine. And so, but, now with like Starlink and a couple of more devices, like computers and cameras and drones and all those things, there's a lot more devices which can draw power from your power bank. And that's where I think having something like this, which can charge fast, you can put 1,000 watts of solar in here, and then also charge it with the wall unit. If you did add those in conjunction with each other, you can power this up to 80% in 43 minutes, which is, I think, the fastest in the industry. Pretty impressive. Another thing I like too on the back here, and I'll show a close-up of this, but you have two inputs for your solar, and then also you can have one for your car charger, so you can have like a solar and a car charger, which is really great. That's what I have on my truck. So I've got the panels up top, then I've got a cigarette plug, and you can have both go in there at the same time and have both of them charging. So you can have two different solar arrays set up if you want to, or one solar array and one car charger, and then also the AC power if you have shore power. So you can charge this thing up super fast, which is awesome. And having those different availabilities to charge is really nice. I really like this two plug for the, like I said, the car, and then also for the solar panel you have on top of your car. That way you can maximize your driving experience. And if you're driving through sun and then you're also kicking out power from your engine, might as well capitalize on both of those. A quick look at the best features of this battery is the AC charging is the Extreme Fast Charge, 1800 watts, 15 amps. The capacity is 2048 watt hours. You have a total of 15 outlets to power devices. The AC output is 2400 watts total with a surge of up to 4800 watts. As I mentioned, AC charging is 1800 watts and solar charging is an additional 1000 watts. It has an LFP battery chemistry, an X-Boost output of 3400 watts. It has an extra battery capability, a mobile app that comes with it. The net weight is roughly about 23 kilograms, and the dimensions are 49 by 24 by 30 centimeters. These next four infographics show the capacity that you have to power various items in different settings. So if the power does go down at your house, or if you're out camping in your RV, rest assured that you've got backup power required to keep you going in pretty much any setting. And if you need more capacity, you can always expand up to 6 kilowatt hours with 2 additional battery packs. I suggest you amp up this Christmas with EcoFlow. Get the best of year-end deals and receive up to 58% off, and on top of that, you get some free Christmas gifts. Just check out the links below and use my code to get an additional 5% off, and that offer is good through December 26th. Out of all the battery companies I've worked with, I am most impressed with EcoFlow, and I know you will be too. So definitely check them out. They've got great sales for Christmas. And if you have any questions, just hit me up in the comment section below. I'd be glad to help you out. All right, thanks.